What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris, and I'm going to be bringing you another game from the Out of Control Community Cup, the OOC. This is going to be between Pluribus Unum, out of menu 1 on the Radiant side, and Undefined, who I have already had the great privilege of casting their first game. Pluribus Unum have lost their first game. I do not know exactly who they were up against, but now they're going into this 0-1, and Undefined are 1-0 at this point. The Radiant was a little bit late, so to really balance that out, I hit them with the level 2 penalty. So saith the admins. So that's why they have a little bit less reserve time than Undefined. But anyway, this tournament is a pretty small community tournament run by the Out of Control community. It's been pretty smooth except for this delay, I suppose, but really check out all the VODs and all the games once they're all done. 2 other sets of casters are casting 2 other games right now, actually, and they'll all be there. It is Dota Raptors and Bills Carrots casting 1 game right now, and then Blaze casting is casting another, and then we have another game supposed to be going on in about an hour and 15. Hopefully this will not be a 7-minute game, or else I might be a little bit late. But so far the bans, lots of bans coming out: Lycan, Siren, Tinker, Leshrac, Broodmother, Invoker. Aside from the Invoker, it's all pretty much standard ban stuff. Invoker, I say that, you do see him banned in this first phase a little bit, but it's really fallen out of style. Because usually the teams don't really place as high a priority on the Invoker as they once did, although he still is extremely good because, you know, he could do pretty much anything you want him to do. Except for support. I've yet to see a really effective support Invoker. First picks coming out now. It's going to be the Nature's Prophet as well as the Rubik for Team Undefined. And out of many 1, we are going to see a Darkseer first pick. So 3 heroes who are commonly banned managing to get through, and the teams both instantly snatch them up. Keep in mind that this is just a community cup, so these teams, there are no MTWs, there are no CLGs, so don't expect that type of play. Nonetheless, I'm sure these teams will put up a good show regardless. Just don't get your hopes high that much. If you want that, you're going to have to watch the International. There's actually a game happening, should be right now, between Mouse and WE. So that's where the really great players are. Over here, though, we seem to have a pretty pro-esque lineup. We have the Darkseer, Keeper of the Light, and Tidehunter from Pluribus Unum, and the Morphlane to cap off Undefined's lineup. So they're going to be secured for the late game. They already have that Rubik to support them, Nature's Prophet to kind of have that early mid-game pressure that you get when you pick up that Nature's Prophet. It's global pressure nonetheless. And the Morphling as the kind of insurance late game, but he could also do quite a bit in the early stages of the game. On Pluribus Unum's side, they do have their supports pretty much down. Keeper of the Light, as well as the Tidehunter, usually oriented towards the support. And Tidehunter especially usually goes for a build that's very similar to what Darkseers usually build. And if you have both of them on your team, usually the Darkseer takes priority. He's going to be the one getting the pipe and getting the arcane boots or whatever. So Tidehunter most likely going to be played as a more of a poor hero. He's going to be supporting the lane, using that gush to keep people off the lane, stuff like that. Keeper of the Light, of course, being the old man, he doesn't have any rights. That's not true. He has plenty of rights. He could die a lot, which I'm sure we'll see, as supports usually do. But he's going to be the one, you know, dipping mana into whoever Pluribus Unum decide to put with him. Right now, they have a solid support lineup, and they have their long lane covered. They need to pick up some really heavy hitters, which is why we see Undefined banning out the Anti-Mage. And if there's no Morphling, if there's no Anti-Mage, then your picks for carries kind of get a little bit strained. Queen of Pain also banning out that solo mid position that Pluribus kind of want. On the other side, the bans Enigma and the Venomancer preventing Undefined from going into any full push lineup. Leshrac, Broodmother, Enigma, and Venomancer all banned out by the Radiant side, so they're not interested in going up against a push lineup, despite the fact that they do have a Keeper of the Light and a Darkseer, who are 2 of the best counter pushers out there. But they already have a Nature's Prophet and a Rubik. They don't want to make it any more hairy than it already is. It's like the pickup is going to be Bounty Hunter. It's kind of an unconventional damaging pick. You do see him quite often, but he's usually not oriented towards a carry role. He's usually more of a utility hero, using the invisibility to scout and try to survive in the lane. And he doesn't pair like perfectly with Keeper of the Light. Usually wants someone who could actually spam a lot more. Of course, Keeper of the Light, if he does lane with the Tide Hunter, he could be constantly funneling him mana so that he could have unlimited gushes, which I guess could also work, give that Bounty Hunter a lot of space. But Bounty Hunter, not really picked up to be a carry, picked up mostly for the chasing power of the track as well as the gold that it provides. So if Pluribus could get their Bounty Hunter up, get a couple of ganks going, they'll be rolling in the dough.
Windrunner at your service.
Windrunner is going to be picked up by Undefined. So that is going to give them their long lane if they want it. Their lanes right now are very, very flexible. Because Rubik is going to be taking a support role, but Nature's Prophet could or could not go in the jungle depending on what they want to do. Morphling probably going to be paired with Rubik, get that regular support carry lane going on. Possibly Nature's Prophet in the middle with the Windrunner on the hard lane, and then pick up someone like a Chen or Enchantress. But the Shadow Demon pickup from Team Pluribus, Pluribus Unum. I should really, I don't know how I'm going to say that. You can't really shorthand that. It's pretty hard. But it's going to be the Shadow Demon. So they're going very support heavy. They're going to try to protect their Bounty Hunter, try to get him as big as possible. I expect the lanes will be, I don't know, they might have a Shadow Demon solo mid. That would be very interesting to see. Shadow Demon is one of the, in my opinion, the best solo mid heroes, but we just don't get to see that because he's simply so much better as a support, and the Storm Spirit is going to be the solo mid pickup, I believe. So most likely we are going to see a jungling Nature's Prophet. Yeah, and then from the Radiant side, Darkseer on the hard lane, Keeper of the Light, Tide Hunter, Bounty Hunter, tri-lane with a Shadow Demon solo mid. That's where my money is. But once again, I do not know much about these teams. The one game I casted from Undefined kind of devolved from a real game, so it was really hard to evaluate them in that. There you go. We're just waiting for the Tide Hunter to get assigned a player, and then we will, well, I guess we'll see how it is. The team fights coming out from either of these teams, I would have to favor the Radiant squad for that with the Ravage and the Darkseer. These Dire have very much a skirmishing lineup with that Storm Spear pick. They don't really have the giant AoE that you would need in a team fight, but they're going to have to rely on getting picks off, and the people that they have for that are just so perfect. You get the Shackle Shout, which is like the best pick spell. And then, of course, the Levitate. Nature's Prophet could jump onto whoever he wants, and then Storm Spirit to really lock him in place. So it's really going to be a question of, can they get the Morphling big enough to combat the Radiant side, and can they continuously get the picks that will give them the opportunities to transition into pushes. The Radiant side will have to try to get giant team fights with the Bounty Hunter trying to clean up at the end. And well, the early game ganking could be pretty substantial as well if their Shadow Demon sets up properly. Some good Disruption Soul Catchers into just a giant pit of death for whoever is unlucky enough to get hit by that spell. On the Radiant side, there's Pluribus Unum. We have DGAF on the Bounty Hunter, so he's going to be playing the farming role. Crucible is playing the Darkseer, most likely going to be seeing him on the top lane. I don't know how successful he's going to be. Darkseer is notoriously good on the hard lane, but it should be a very hard lane this game since look at all the range on the other side. Wirblewind, that is an awesome name, Shadow Demon. And Lee Harvey Oswald is playing the Tide Hunter, maybe trying to get a couple of headshots. Yes, I went there, and I see how it is going to be playing Keeper of the Light. On the Dire side, we have Chicken MC playing the Storm Spirit. We're going to see where he goes. Incarnate looks like he is going to be picking up a jungling build. So we're going to see Nature's Prophet in the jungle orbit. On the Morphling, Lopert playing the Rubik, and Jamie D on what looks like a supporting Windrunner. Yeah, Rubik and Windrunner probably going to split support with the Morphling, who's already going into agility. Very aggressive. He's really going to depend on a lot of safety. It's going to be going up top with that Rubik, and the Rubik is... Oh, that's actually going to be a bounty hunter in the top lane. This is very interesting. We have some pretty creative drawing going on the map. We have another pause request as well. So, from the Dire, we're definitely going to see this Nature Prophet jungle, Ring of Basilius plus Clarities. No regeneration from Nature Prophet, signifying 100% that he is going to be going in the jungle using the Treants to tank up all the damage that he would take otherwise. So that's what's going to happen there. That is going to give the Dire a little bit of a gold and experience advantage since they just have that additional source of income. Windrunner looks like she's going to be soloing the bot lane with the Storm Spirit in the mid, Orbit and Lopert, the Morphling and the Rubik. And Orbit, I don't know what is going on with your Morphling right now. It looks like his neck broke in a very, very weird angle. But he's water, so he'll be okay. He'll be okay. Crucible, sitting at 200 gold with wards. And I see how it is. 200. He actually 200, 350. Yeah, kind of weird way to spend their money there. Lee Harvey Oswald definitely decked out with all of his money. And Shadow Demon spent a lot of his money as well, but Crucible, it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing a solo Darkseer. He does have a point of vacuum, which is very peculiar.
30 seconds.
Most of the time you do see level 1 Ion Shell or Surge. Surge mostly as a safety tool, just in case you get jumped. You don't want to get jumped, so you just surge yourself out of there. But is it going to be a tri-lane with the Darkseer farming? That would be very interesting to see. Darkseer does do pretty well with extra gold, but really what Darkseer needs more than gold is experience. They are actually going to show their hand there to that Treant. And I don't know. Where are you going, Keeper? Riverwind is heading towards the rune, which I believe got denied. Well, no one picked it up, so we're going to have a little bit of lane switching right now. It might be a Keeper Light heading up top in a dual lane on down bot, so kind of messing up my prediction there. Either way, Chicken MC is going to be up against a Shadow Demon. Whether or not he's going to be solo still remains to be seen. It should benefit the Storm Spirit, but that is, again, hard to evaluate because Shadow Demon rarely seen in the solo mid prediction and is rarely seen in the solo mid position, and therefore is very hard to predict. Looks like the Keeper Light is going to be going to the bot lane, so it is going to be a tri-lane, sticking Bounty Hunter with the Bill on the top. So he's going to just try to sit around in the Shadow Walk, try to leech off as much experience as he can. He's not going to be getting a lot of farm because if he does pop out of that Shadow Walk, he's going to take a lot of hits from this Morphling. He only has 20 strength right now, morphed a lot of that. And he knew he could do that because, I mean, like, well, there wasn't going to be any aggression coming out to the top lane. He did have Rubik to support him. Maybe Crucible spending some wards doing in fast bottle builds? It'll be kind of weird to see. I don't exactly know where they want to go with this. Well, definitely the one getting the farm, so they want Darkseer getting big. Keeper Light and Tidehunter could do without farm. Lee Harvey Oswald being very aggressive to Jamie D. Already forcing out a Windrun, but it's no big deal because Windrunner does have quite a bit of mana to spend in the early stages of the game. Needs those power shots if she wants to stay competitive in the lane. But then again, she's going to pretty much toe-to-toe with the Bounty Hunter, so it's going to be even as far as that goes. One cannon going off and see how it is. Just try to pressure the Windrunner back. But this... okay, going over tri-lanes again, I guess. I did this last time too. You either want to protect your carry, which is kind of what's going on in the top lane. They had a tri-lane in as an idea. They don't really need to actually use it 100%, but the idea was to protect the Morphling, get him farm. Or you could run aggressive tri-lanes and then just try to kill them. Keeper of the Light, Tidehunter, and now Darkseer. You don't really have to protect Darkseer because he's used to, most often see Darkseer on the hard lane where he's just roughing it. But this lane doesn't have the most kill potential unless Keeper of the Light somehow manages to land and illuminate. I don't know how actually likely that's going to be. The kill potential is extremely limited. Their push potential is actually okay with Illuminate as well as Ion Shell. But if you really wanted to do something like that, you would pick up someone like a Enigma or a Chen or Enchantress, something like that. Just get a little bit more bulk on the front lines. There's going to be a farm fest up top. Morphling is undoubtedly ahead, and as far as that goes, Chicken MC has picked up his haste rune in his bottle, so he has got a fast bottle. Whirlwind kind of falling behind as far as the gold goes. Chicken MC having a pretty good time in the mid lane, where the Shadow Demon is kind of struggling. And one kind of weird quirk with a solo mid Shadow Demon, what you want to get is Shadow Poison. Get 1 point of disruption, and then max out your Shadow Poison with Soul Catcher alongside that. That gives you the lane control. But when you have a Storm Spirit up against you in the mid lane, it's going to be rough either way, because he does have pretty good base damage. More importantly, he does already have a bottle teleportation coming on to DGAF. Do they have any True Sight? Yes, there are Sentry-Wars. DGAF's going to get telekinesis and sprouted. A little bit of miscommunication there, but it looks like it won't really matter. He's going to try to run into the trees. Waveform is going to hit, and DGAF is going to hide up there. He's going to have to get out of there, teleport right now if you want to live, but no, it is too late. Morphling, oh, Incarnate actually, with the kill steal from his Morphling. Got the kill, despite that little bit of miscommunication, but that is going to mean the first blood for the Nature's Prophet. He is going to be going for a fast hand of Midas, and Brown seems to be very happy with that gank, drawing all over the place. What a treat it is to be able to see these players' drawings. BF going for a very safe build. No points in Janata because he knows he's not going to be able to actually hit people. Gonna get that Shuriken toss. And try to last hit with it, or try to harass with it. Try to do something with it. Get some mileage out of it. Although it probably would benefit him to get a couple more points of Shadow Walk so that he could get a little bit of extra duration. Storm Spirit maintaining control of the runes. And Darkseer dying to an Ursa Furblog champion. And he had a whole lot of unreliable gold, so that is not what you want to do. That was Darkseer messing up. That was not a fast trip to the base. If you are very poor and you are very low on health, then just buy up everything you can. Make sure all your gold is reliable, and then suicide to the neutrals, because that will get you to the base faster than walking would. But when you actually have money in the bank, you do not want to die ever. Just simply not a good idea. Zip in now from the Storm Spirit, trying to go on to Whirlwind. He doesn't have his damaging spells up, and he does force out a self-disruption. But he does have a regeneration rune, so the Storm Spirit could get right back into it if he chooses to do so. Jamie D still not having the best time on this bot lane. Illuminate is going to fire, and whammo, Windrunner, you are in a lot of pain. The Storm Spirit now popping off the regeneration rune, going to look towards the Keeper of the Light kill. Shackle Shot is going to lash into a tree. Very long zip from Chicken MC. Does he have any more mana to do anything else? Yes, he does. And he's going to flatten him with another Ball Lightning. He does still have more. The regeneration rune has not been cancelled. There it is. Lee Harvey Oswald just tanking up so many people. Incarnate has teleported down here, but he does not have any mana for a Sprout. Looks like it doesn't matter. He's just going to right-click him down. Chicken MC taking quite a bit of damage. Going to get vacuumed back into tower range. Crucible now has that Ion Shell on him. Chicken MC trying to get away, but the sticking power of Darkseer. Oh, he actually just turned around, and Darkseer managed to botch that one a little bit. Bottling up is the Storm Spirit, and Jamie D is going to land a Shackle Shot. It's not a high level, so it's not going to last forever, but there's a Sprout. Crucible is going to be taken down by Nature's Prophet, who has picked up now his third kill. That is going to give him his Hand of Midas, and now Storm Spirit might run Shadow Demon. That probably will mean his death. Yes, Shadow Demon has picked up a haste rune. There goes the Disruption and Shadow Poison. Unfortunately, he does not have any mana for Demonic Purge, so he might not be able to tag this kill. 8 HP. Chicken MC is going to get Demonic Purged, and you are so dead. Boom! Poor Storm Spirit. He thought he had a chance, but he really was nowhere close. Nature's Prophet, level 5, 7-minute Hand of Midas. That is one wealthy Nature's Prophet. He's leading the way as far as gold goes. The Morphling not far behind him at all. Bounty Hunter trying to get something out of this lane. Let's see. Does he have more? No, he's Windrunner, kind of as expected, getting a little more out of her hard lane than the Bounty Hunter getting out of his. The farmer's actually, I mean, Darkseer looks like he has transitioned into kind of jungling. He's only level 3. But the farm on the bot lane is not happening at all. Looks like they're kind of fighting over the farm. Yeah, they're splitting the farm evenly, which is usually something you do not see. The two supports will be aiming towards farm. The Darkseer now in the jungle, so it's a very interesting lane situation. What they need to do is send up like Keeper of the Light onto the top lane, because Keeper of the Light can survive with those Illuminates against the Morphling, and then have the Bounty Hunter come down here and try to get something, because the Bounty Hunter right now only 6 creep kills, not getting much at all. The Keeper of the Light is in fact already ahead of him as far as gold per minute goes. He's trying to go for that Shadow Demon. He doesn't have much mana though, but Whirlwind is very, very low. One more right click, gonna zip in, burn the rest of his mana, and get that kill. So Storm Spirit picking up his first kill actually, and Morphling diving on the Bounty Hunter. Was there any bit, unless the Sentry Ward got destroyed by the tower, which I don't think so because he still has 2 left. That Bounty Hunter was completely out of mana, I guess, or had his Shadow Walk on cooldown. Either way, that kill should not have happened. Windrunner struggling on the bot lane still. Picked up this Tranquil Boots, which is one of the signs of desperation from, well, rather, pretty much any hero, except for supports, who are poor regardless, but Windrunner usually want to have anything but Tranquil Boots. But it is going to allow him to sit on this lane. Hopefully he doesn't want to take those hits, but either way, we do see Orbit taking out the tier 1 tower on the top lane. He's sitting at 45 creep kills, 101. He's surpassed the Prophet as far as gold per minute goes. He's well on the way to carrying the game, 7-1 in favor of Team Undefined. Team Pluribus Unum kind of struggling to keep up as far as the gold is concerned. I mean, like, they're constantly pushing out this lane, but they're not making any commitments to this tower. And even though they keep on blasting down the creep wave, Jamie D is just pulling the creeps off the tower and then getting those 3 last hits. And Bounty Hunter got completely owned again, and I completely missed it because I'm a noob. I probably should be watching this Morphling, because this Morphling Rubik combo is pretty devastating, and this Bounty Hunter, only level 6, does not really have enough to stand up against it. Whirlwind might be in a little bit of trouble. Storm Spirit does have a lot of mana. He's going to run into the Rubik. He can telekinesis down onto the low ground, and Chicken MC is going to unleash his entire combo. Self-destruction on the Shadow Demon, but it's not going to help him. He's going to get popped by the Storm Spirit, and that is another kill for him, 2-1-3. The possible double damage rune in his pocket. Storm Spirit is getting pretty big. What is he actually getting? He's getting a little bit of everything, actually. With Magi, probably going for a Orchid with that. I'd say it was an Orchid. Could be something else, though. Orbit just chilling up on the top lane. Continuously out-farming this Bounty Hunter, who's actually, when he's pushed this far back, Rubik has left the lane, so he is going to get some farm now. But the question is, will it be enough? Teleport coming into the mid lane. It is going to be that Shadow Demon, who's actually maxed out his Disruption. It's a very interesting build. I don't want to say it's wrong, but it's definitely not what I would have gone for. Soul Catcher does give you more damage most of the time, at least in the early game. And Shadow Poison is what you need to control that lane if you're in a solo mid position. But hey, to each his own. Windrunner's going to eat yet another Illuminate, and they do have people transitioning down here where Wind is revealed, and so is Lee Harvey Oswald. Tried to get in the trees to get a snipe. Disruption and Soul Catcher now onto the Windrunner. He's going to get Demonic Purge as well. She's going to pop from that, but Storm Spirit has arrived. Going to go onto the Shadow Demon, going to bring him down. Lee Harvey Oswald going to get worked down by a double damage Storm Spirit Telekinesis, and the last right click once again by Incarnate. You are the master of kill stealing, sir. Storm Spirit still does have a lot of mana. He's going to zip in for this Keeper Light kill, and Nature's Prophet gets it one more time. GMC is getting shafted at every turn by his teammate. But it looks like the Nature's Prophet also going to go for an Orchid. They're going to be silencing everyone. DGEF going to try to go for Lopert. He's going to pop his invisibility. Is there any True Sight here? No, there is not. The only person with True Sight was the Rubik, but he actually used it all somewhere. So far, the score sits 2-12 in favor of the Dire. They're doing pretty well for themselves. Storm Spirit doesn't have any mana, and there's now 4 people going to go down into this bot lane, try to get a kill. With the lack of stuns, it's going to be very hard to do so. Crucible trying to get in there. He's going to vacuum back Chicken MC, but a shock shot might protect him enough. He doesn't have much mana. He's going to try to do it. He's going to burn all of his mana. Illuminate going to come in, not hit on the Storm Spirit. So Storm Spirit does get to live from that. He's going to go for a Oblivion Staff at least. I don't think it's going to be a Refresher Orb. Jamie D now trying to look for that Bounty Hunter kill. He does have just enough mana to pop off his ultimate. And Ryan ults. WTF. Yeah. Should have ulted, man. But all the while, the trades have been going the way of the Dire on this bot lane. Radiants haven't really been getting anything. Bounty Hunter very close, but it wasn't enough. Lee Harvey Oswald getting a telekinesis onto Keeper of the Light. And as Keeper of the Light, you do not want to get Tidehunter landed on top of you. Chicken MC has teleported in. He's going to pull in Lee Harvey Oswald. He's going to get a dominating streak for him. He does have a lot of mana. He's going to zip in for this Keeper of the Light. He doesn't have his pull, but it looks like it doesn't matter. He has Ball Lightning. Now on the top lane, we are seeing the Orbit trying to bring down the Shadow Demon with the help of Nature's Prophet. They are going to do that, so they extend the advantage 15-2. Undefined looking very good this game. Morphling building up a shotgun, and Nature's Prophet already near his Orchid. So that means there's not going to be any surges. There's not going to be any clutch Shadow Walks to get out of sticky situations. And when Tidehunter finally hits level 6, that Ravage is going to be very hard to pop out. Lopert is going to telekinesis up Keeper of the Light. There's no shackle angle. Jamie D is going to throw it anyway. There it is, actually. What the hell range is that? This Keeper of the Light's taking a lot of damage from the right clicks. Fade Bolt, but here comes Chicken MC. Last right clicks from the Storm Spirit. The Haste Rune, easy in, easy out, and he's going to just run out of there. Nature's Prophet, Illusion, being very tricky. Tidehunter is going to walk away from that. Oh no, Werberwind, what are you doing there? Fortunately for him, Windrunner does not have much mana. She does have a Soul Ring, however, so she could pull a Shackle Shot out of her pocket. And the Storm Spirit's still running around with the Haste Rune. There it actually goes. What is he doing here? You gotta get out of here. He's gonna try to... What are you doing? That's not where you want to go, actually. He's gonna have his bottle canceled. He's gonna run into an illusion, and he does still have his bottle activated. What he has to do is go up onto the high ground. That will guarantee his safety, but he's actually instead just running away. Nature's Prophet ultimate bouncing through. Here comes Pink teleporting in. It is the Nature's Prophet with finally an Orchid. Lee Harvey Oswald is trapped in the trees. He's just gonna get right clicked down by the Nature's Prophet. Chicken MC does still have a bottle charge, so he could still go on to someone, but there is no one in sight. Bounty Hunter is around, but invisible. He's very, very soft now with an ion shell on him. Really cute invisibility tactics going on there, but as soon as they see anything happening, there he goes onto D-Gap. Is Chicken MC. Is there going to be enough damage? Yes, there is, with the final Static Remnant popping in. Here comes the Morphling, but the Wave 4 missed. He's going to be forced to pull back out of this. He could just go back to the top lane and just free farm all day. Incarnate is rolling in the dough. Orchid Malevolence, Hand of Midas, 500 gold per minute on him. Absolutely sick, sick farm. And this is a situation you do not want to be as the Dire with, as the Radiant. All of the Dire opponents are on the top as far as the gold per minute chart goes. Look at EXP per minute, it's going the same way. That is just bad news all around for the Radiant. It's going to be extremely rough for them. There's the finally level, the sixth level on Tidehunter. And that will give them a little bit more of an advantage, but Storm Spirit already level 12. Nature's Prophet already level 12. And, yeah, level 10 on the other heroes, level 11 on the Morphling. Oh, there's True Sight there, Bounty Hunter. He's going to get pulled in and telekinesis. Rubik with the Fade Ball, picking up that kill. Lee Harvey Oswald, you got to pop your Ravage right now if you want to live. It's too late. Static Remnant damage, too much. And now Werberwind is slowed down. He's going to get gushed by the Rubik. Try to self-destruct him, but there's Static Remnants everywhere. And Rubik with the Fade Ball picking up a double kill, 22-2. Not looking good at all for Pluribus, Unum, Undefined, just rolling their way through this game. And even if they start to fall apart, they do have this Morphling who's going to have a shotgun in just 800 gold. Once he has that, there is no one on the Radiance team, except for maybe the Darks here with a hood, cloak, building up towards a hood, who could withstand a shotgun blast. Tidehunter does have quite a bit of health, but he doesn't have any items, which you usually want items, unless you're going for the patented poor build. Orbit might now be in a little bit of trouble if they don't have any stuns once again. How are they supposed to lock down this Morphling? Morphling could just walk out of this. He does have a Ghost Scepter as well. He's going to turn around and fight to D-Gap, teleport in, and silence from Incarnate. He's going to pick them up one kill. The Harvey Oswald is going to get Waveform down, extending the lead to 2-24. Werberwind might be in a little bit of trouble. Long range Sprout on him, and you are trapped in a cage of death, sir. There's the mega kill from the Morphling, a double kill. In the meantime, Storm Spirit doing some solo killing, picking up a Darkseer for his godlike streak, 918 on him. He does have his Orchid in the bank whenever he decides to get it, and I think it's flying out right now. Yes, it is. Orbit with that double kill, and oh, here we go. Round 2, double damage. Storm, level 13, versus the Keeper of the Light, level 6. I would not put good odds on that Keeper of the Light, and he did not perform well at all. Maybe better luck next season, Keeper Delight. Pretty sure that's actually false, but looks like the Radiant not interested in really playing this. They could call GG.
Bottom tower is under attack.
I'm not gonna say anything. Never give up, never surrender. Although right now it looks pretty dire for the Radiant team. Yeah, see what I did there? Yeah, okay, I won't do that again. I'm sorry. But regardless, it's not looking good for the Radiant side. 2-27. And here's another hasted Storm Spirit. I think he got every single rune. He's going to look for someone to jump on, but he is spotted out by the Bounty Hunter. He's going to actually pull the Keeper of the Light up onto the high ground, surprise Keeper of the Light, dodge the vacuum with his Ball Lightning as well, and he's just on his way out of there. He doesn't have much mana, but with that Orchid, he does have quite a bit of mana regeneration. Orbit going to shotgun down the Tide Hunter, exactly what I was talking about. Tide Hunter only level 6, not bulky enough to withstand a shotgun blast. In the meantime, Incarnate and Lopert pushing down this tier 3 tower. Keeper of the Light is here with his Illuminate, so he's going to thin out the creep wave. But I don't know if it's going to be enough, because they could sit here all day, and there's no way for the Radiant squad to actually make them leave. It's going to be very hard to get kills, because once again, they have not picked up a single stun. The only stun that they actually have is the Ravage and the Mana Leak, and those are, well, first, it's very expensive, the Ravage. You don't want to just use it willy-nilly for a stun, and Mana Leak hasn't even been picked up yet, and it's not the most reliable stun either. It's kind of one of the faults in the Pluribus Unum lineup. It kind of got screwed over in the draft a little bit. Here comes Storm Spirit, shotgun down in Orbit, shotgunning down the Bounty Hunter, and it's just a complete massacre of Pluribus Unum players with a triple kill on Orbit. I think that was a stolen Ion Shell. Yes, it was.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
And there wasn't even enough time for Tide Hunter to join the fight, because it was over in the blink of an eye. Everyone just so much mobility on this team, with the Wind Run, with the 4 staff, the 2 4 staffs, with everything that the Storm Spirit has to offer, as well as the Morphling waveform in. The Dire team is pushing into the mid lane, and I do not think the Radiant can defend this. They could try to thin the creep wave with the Illuminate, but if he pisses Chicken MC off, he can just zip in and try to go for a kill. He's missing his double damage rune. I don't know where that went to his build. Lee Harvey Oswald is going to get in position for a Ravage. He's going to hit 2, and Jamie D is going to get pulled back. He is going to take a fall from the Keeper of the Light. Disruption onto Lopert is going to bring him down as well. Orbit might be in a little bit of trouble. He's going to get Demonic Purge pushed back by the Light of Keeper of the Light. Orbit trying to waveform out of that, but is the Demonic Purge is not going to pick him off. It is actually the Shuriken Toss, which is maxed out for the Bounty Hunter. Picking up a couple of kills for the Radiant side, but I mean, they did manage to close the gap a little bit. But 5-32, I still don't really feel that great for the Radiant. It's not looking good for them. Incarnate now with the Necronomicon. So once that gets leveled up, it's going to punish the Keeper of the Light more and more for clearing the creep wave. Going to take a pretty big burst of pure damage, which is at level 3. It's going to pretty much kill the Keeper of the Light. The tower, tier 3 tower, has gone down now. Jimmy D and Lopert trying to work down this Rax. What has been stolen? It is Shadow Poison, so there's going to be poison flying all over the place.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
What was that treaty that they signed to say that poison in warfare was illegal? Was it Geneva? I think it was. They should sign one of those. Anyway, they're going to just get out of there because they don't want to fight with poison. That shit's vicious. Looks like all the Radiant is going to try to go for the bottom lane, which has had its tower and its Rax almost completely pushed down. Is this Rax going to go down? It's going to be close. 20 HP, and the creep wave is okay, it gets denied. Fair enough. I wouldn't recommend denying Raxes, but I feel like the Radiant are completely just checked out of this game at this point. Huge zip in from Storm Spirit, not going to hit anything, but he does have a regeneration rune, so he's probably just sticking around just a little bit. He's going for a 4 staff, which is kind of indicative of that as well. The Raxes on the mid lane are taking a hit, and they're going to go down as well. Raxes on the bot lane are completely, almost completely down. This is the last team fight of the game. Tide Hunter gets shotgunned down, and the Morphling replicates away with the Shadow Demon forced to use a self-replicate. Shelf Disruption, Chicken MC trying to go for the Bounty Hunter, but he's going to zip out of there and be just fine still. telekinesis onto the Dark Sphere, going to slow him down. Keeper Delight looking for someone, but I don't know what you could actually do at this point. Keeper Delight has a plate mail for some reason. I don't know why. But Incarnate and Orbit going to look towards the last racks that the Radiant team has. Crucible's going to pull them all in, not do much damage, and here comes the giant cannon. You got to watch out, and there's the shotgun. So I guess it was Bounty Hunter really had to watch out. Keeper Delight has to watch out too. He's going to get surged, but the Storm Spirit is just a little bit faster. He's actually going to go Fountain Farm the Dark Seer. There goes one. Holy shit streak on the Storm Spirit. Orbuin might be in a little bit of danger as well. He's going to lay down all his spells, but he might get dove. There's no Aegis on the Storm Spirit though, so I don't think he's actually going to do that. He's going to Force Staff himself out. It's a free ball lightning. That Force Staff, 51 HP. He's going to walk out of this. And the rations are getting mighty low. Power shots flying out. And there's the Ravage not hitting. Well, it's only going to hit Orbit. He gets disrupted instantly. Soulcatcher not going to hit. Orbit is going to shotgun down that Shadow Demon. Lee Harvey Oswald trapped. He's also going to take a fall by the hands of the Morphling. And DGF trying to make something happen, but a Shock Shot and a Sprout is going to hold him out. Morphling picking up a triple kill as the last Raxes start to fall.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack. Radiant's top barracks.
Keeper Delight trying to make his last stand. But he's going to get sprouted, and it doesn't matter how fast you're moving. If you can't move anywhere, Keeper Delight from that Orchid Malevolence is going to get brought down one more time. 5-40. That is going to be GG with this lineup. That there is literally nothing that the Radiant team could do. At this point, the Dire team could just go home and sit in their fountain and just wait for the creeps to slowly work down the towers, and then finally the Ancient. So this is going to be the end of the game between Pluribus Unum on the Radiant side, now 0-2, and Undefined on the Dire side, now 2-0 in this round-robin format. Huge storm zip in. Going to try to get a couple more kills. 900 being the first one to fall. Lee Harvey Oswald trapped in a cage of trees, and so is Whirlwind. He's going to get shotgunned down by the Morphling. Double kill on him. Crucible's the only one left alive. Incarnate summoning the trees, bringing down that Ancient. There's the GG call by Dark Green, but I'm pretty sure the Radiant agree. That's going to be the end of the game, guys. If you're watching this on the live stream, and if you like this video, well, all the tournament games will be on the shout out to you too, Incarnate. Will be on the Out of Control site, and all the videos that I've done are on my YouTube channel. Should be right about here. And if you're watching from the YouTube channel, then this has been live stream, so that's why I'm explaining all of that. And thanks for watching, guys. GG.